back up. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. It happens. It happens. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a very fine day. Let me straighten that out. Um, it's a very good day. It's an interesting day. Uh, things are happening. For those of you who follow us, you know that there's been a couple individuals who they don't like me. They don't like the show. They don't like what we do here. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to like me. I never did this for people like me. I always did this show to be able to help veterans and improve on their lives. And that sometimes means hate will come my way. How are the audio levels? Can you guys hear okay? You got it okay? Hold on here. I'm just checking out something. So I do want to pull up some stuff because I'm going to go through some stuff this morning. By the way, happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. There we go. Got that up. And I'm going to have to find a better way to do this here. Well, there, I'll do that. And I'm really going to play with Restream's new features because it just changed things on me so it looks different. So I'm just not used to it, and that's okay. But I've got to find where all the old features where they moved them to. Yes, happy Labor Day. Did it go out already? I believe it may have. I had a video that I recorded the other day, set to go out today. Yes, it did go out. So for all of the people who are international viewers, the video I have of you guys went out today. Good morning, Star. Oh, did I say Memorial Day? I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant Labor Day. But yeah. So there's been people attacking me, and many of you folks have reached out, and I know you've encouraged me to do stuff, and these are a lot of the. Well, actually, these are all the same people that have been going after Jeremy House. And I told you guys, don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of this stuff. There's nothing that they're doing that's hurting me. Okay. And I will happily, it's like in the military. I will happily take, divert all of the fire, and be in a pinned down position, take all the flack and everything, if it means that other people are able to go do what things they need to do. So I was happy to do that. If it means that Jeremy got more information on these guys, if it meant that, they didn't target someone else. Well, the thing about it is I'll land on that grenade. And Jeremy last night on his live stream said he's going through and people are getting served. Everybody who's taken his copyrighted material, the same people who took my copyrighted material, are getting served in the next several weeks. And that caused an issue. So I normally don't show other people's content, especially these guys. I don't want to promote them ever, but I will show this. This is a win. Okay, this is Stupid Dave's channel. He's been harassing people for months. He's been stealing people's content for a year. Taking a mental health break. I will not become obsessed with someone who, in my opinion, an oddball, who will not stop at nothing to only have his narrative be accepted. As a viewer of any creator's content, I have opinions too. I make a point to say this in each and every single video I upload to this and other platforms. I even have 2 disclaimers and a video intent right up posted in my descriptions of every upload. Sharing my opinions has become my niche. Really? Being a critic? I thought commentary was considered free speech in America. I even remember a certain litigious YouTuber encouraging all his haters to make their own YouTube channels and talk all they want about him, but not to expect him to watch, because that's his freedom. Yeah. Yeah. First off, you can say whatever you want. There are people who have. You can say whatever you want. He, I, and others have been very clear. Don't use our content. In fact, with this guy, I told him, do not use my content. You can take on my Facebook posts, do all that stuff. Don't touch my content. And he's gotten copyright strikes from me and Jeremy. Because he didn't want to listen. Didn't want to listen. So he could do whatever. So he's taking a mental health break. No, he's not. He's scared of being sued. And guess what, Dave? Too late. It's been a year and a half. I told you a year and a half ago. He tried to get into my Facebook group about Otter Creek a year and a half ago. I told him to kick rocks. I knew then what he was. And he likes making videos about it as well as Jeremy. Sharing opinions is not a niche. You're just being a critic. Everybody on YouTube shares their opinions. It's not a niche. When that's all you're about is hate, that's what you are. Your niche is hating on people. And you're still whining. Dude, we told you not to steal our content. You're still whining. Like, just go away at this point. Just go away. And this is why Jeremy needs to follow through in his lawsuit with them. That one I'll get to. This is more stupid, Dave. The case that set precedence on what is considered fair use. I'm pretty sure that any major creator is aware of this case and fair use. H3 Ethan Klein went through a very expensive court case so we could all learn what the acceptable copyright exception. I want you all to know I love you all. I don't want this subject matter to overtake me completely. Too late. I hope you can all accept that. I don't want to be sour or bitter. Too late. Evil man, like some other creators I watch. I also hope you can give me the peace and privacy as I take some time to myself to figure out what's what. Thank you all. Dave. Dude, all you are is hate, Dave. All you are. And right here, you're saying all you watch is people with hate? That is why you hate. Dude, long ago, you should have backed away. Why are you talking about this? Don't grift, do your own stuff. Kathy, I am doing my own stuff. Do you see me putting up their content? These are public posts. I'm not putting up other people's. I could show. You don't think I got sent Mr. Hill's live stream from yesterday? You don't think him pacing around his computer, freaking out about me? I'm not showing that. I'm showing public posts. I'm not showing their content. You can't copyright public posts, Kathy. Jay used niche in his live. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They all watch him. They all watch him. That's how you know. That's how you know. I can say this. Slogo, Kevin Hill, was not watching live. he was doing his show, but people were watching his live and were commenting to him. And I've never told people to go watch a show. If you want to watch a show, go watch that one. It is priceless. You can see the blood draining from his face as he realizes, I got myself into a lawsuit. Yeah, Bruce. Bruce talked you into attacking people. He never stuck his neck out. Never stuck his neck out. You put your trust in the wrong guy. Why are you talking about Jeremy? No one was afraid of him except Milltown and Slug. Oh, no. There's many more people afraid of him. Yeah, there's many more. Sorry, Kathy. And see, I hear the haters every single day. People like Kathy. I'm not immune from people disagreeing with me at all. Not at all. Love watching your channel and will continue watching. Grandfather was in Duke of Cornwall Regiment. Very nice. I was in France. All the big battles in World War I. Lived 108. Wow. I hope you got to hear some of his stories. I choked on my coffee watching Megan. They are doing court stuff. Free ride for them. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Free ride. It's a free ride today. I just minimized it. There we go. So, yeah, that's... I'm doing these out of order. Here we go. I think it goes this way. Nope, not that one. I will not become an obsessed asshat, in my opinion. Sorry, Dave. You are. All you've done is content on Jeremy Hales for the last year and a half. That's all you've done. This is your comeuppance. Stopping now is not going to stop. And as we can see from your post, there's zero regret on your side. So there'll be zero regret on ours. You did this to yourself. Leslie, did you hear all courts have just changed a few things as far as DMCA filing goes? Yeah, the claimant must now consider if any copyright exceptions, such as fair use, applies before they file a claim. I attached it below along with what I considered fair use. That's why we warned you, you idiot. I warned you. Jeremy warned you. We know you watch. That is why we warned you. That is why I have it in public posts, which I have screenshotted. You were warned. Don't hate you, just don't want to see you get screwed in this. I'm fine. Nope. The only thing that's happened to me is I've been doxxed and been threatened by an attorney. And as you see, that attorney doesn't want to stick his neck out. So, do I really need to be scared? Just because no one has taken this creator to court for a declaratory judgment on whether their use is fair or not, does not make it theft. Thanks to the Matt Hazendaw versus Ethan Klein and Hilla Klein. Really, that's the only case you could. Dude, there's so much First Amendment copyright law out there, and you could only find one case. This is the only one that involved probably a podcast. That's why you. I don't know this case. I'll have to look at it. Or this is the only one your people told you about. It's funny to me that people want to start a war with a veteran. You know, I can take, trust me, every day in the Marine Corps, 17 years, every day I had people that told me I sucked and I was a piece of crap. That's what we do in the Marine Corps. I can take what you guys can dish out. Hell, all you guys, when they were posting my docs, other than stuff about my business, you didn't find anything new that what the Stolen Valor Group. That's where they got most of their stuff, was the Stolen Valor Group. And guess what? I got people from theirs fired. I got people theirs forced into retirement. I got their website taken down. Like, I've been through this. And I didn't have to go to court. I didn't have to. So, yeah, there's that. Let's go to this next one. repeatedly filing meritless motions. Again, Jeremy already said why he did that. You do copyright claims and they appeal. We now know who you are. You have to send in your ID. We know who you are, where you are. Rebellion, I did watch. He said, Jeremy, let's talk. And if we do, who knows? I might be on your side. Oh, yeah. Hell's going to lose a channel if he keeps up his false copyright and privacy strikes. No, he's not. No, he's not. I know Mr. Hill likes to say, oh, they're illegal. No, they're not. No, they're not. Copyright strikes. If someone's using your content, you should copyright strike it. If they say, no, that's not it, okay, fine. That becomes on YouTube then. And guess what? If there is determined to be a violation later, YouTube can become liable then. It's just there's a lot of people who don't know what fair use and copyrighted material is. Repeatedly relitigating the same case against the same defendant. He brought a CPO and he brought a federal case, and there's different charges in each one. It's not the same case. She brought the injunction. She brought the injunction after he brought his CPO, and he's been vindicated already twice, with a third and a fourth time likely coming Wednesday. Any day we can get the judge in Ohio's thing, and that'll be the third time. Who said illegal? I didn't, and I don't think anyone but Hales says it is illegal. No, Kevin Hill, Sluggo, said it was illegal. Dave here has said it's illegal. That's who's saying it's illegal. The man has went crazy wanting to run the courthouse. Whatever. She's the one who kept going back and filing more and more and more. He's the one that sent a cease and desist. Where do y'all get your information? It's easy to find on these laws on Google. Yeah. I'm an Army smooth trainer, and I can figure this out. Yeah, if us smooth brains can figure it out, they can. Who's the bootlickers here, really? I have a ton of veterans as friends and family that don't involve me. Jeremy is a liar, cheater. A church refuses to ever hire him again. Deadbeat dad. Yeah, Kathy, you're just posting more of rumor and BS stuff. He was accused of embezzlement by Guapo, and Guapo can't show any charges. You're the bootlicker. You're the one posting incorrect information. That is why these guys are getting taken down. Defamation will be a part of it. It won't be the main basis. It's going to be a part of it. I'm going to say, as of now, we should all stop now. All I know is if lawsuits get filed and the major YouTubers see small channels being attacked over silly things like fair use and criticism, they will have a field day if certain creators are not looked at as the bad guy. They damn sure will be. Just ask Matt Haas. I'm going to be taking a few days to do some soul searching and real thinking about what it is I wish to achieve. Should have done that a year and a half ago. It has been quite a while since I covered any topic besides him. Exactly, moron. And I feel I may be a problem. I will not become like him. I will not become. I'll have to find. See. I will not become him. Okay, that's what it was. I never said that. I would never hire him again. As long as veteran friends, well, I am a veteran. Veteran don't always agree, especially when you pay attention to lying MSM. I'm not a vet, but I enjoy listening because I have mental health problems. And as live alone, it gives me something to hear in the background. Well, I'm glad you get some enjoyment from it. I hope you do work on. I hope you do have a therapist and are working on your mental health issues. Do what to whose soul searching? YouTube violation policy doesn't equal illegal, just a policy. Yeah, exactly. It results in YouTube's own consequences. But YouTube, if YouTube uh, does error in judgment, they can be held liable then, because at that point they have made editorial decisions. Which, by the way, I want to minimize that. Oh, the promotion. What happened to each video they make only makes us grow bigger. All of these statements have been clipped as well. Again, he is in his own worst enemy in my eyes. Always making mountains out of molehills. What do you care then? Move on. Don't watch. If any lawsuits are filed, I think they will only add to the vexatious litigant label that they have been settled with by many former fans and critics. Like you? A vexatious litigant is someone who files legal action for the really, you don't think people could have figured out what vexatious litigant means? For the sole purpose of legal action against for the sole purpose of harassing or causing unnecessary delay to the other party. This is known as litigation abuse. Like doxing people? How about that? Huh? How about that? What about that, Dave? Stealing content is not protected. Some characteristics of a vexatious litigant include filing frivolous lawsuits, repeated. I can't see what that says. Repeatedly filing meritless motions. Shut up, dude. You have zero. You don't like accountability. You don't like being held with your feet to the fire. You have zero remorse in this. I hope Jeremy takes you to the freaking cleaners, dude, because of this. Had you just said, you know what, I made a mistake and I'm wrong, I'd respect that. And I'd say, yeah, Jeremy should go forward, but settle his lawsuit with you for like $1 or something like that. Some way that if you do it again, he can come back on you. But after this post, oh, dude, I hope he takes you to the cleaners. I cannot tell you. Like, I will encourage him to take you to the cleaners. Whatever I can do, I will do videos begging him to take you to the cleaners, Dave. I've been thought that area and seen the trash. Now you go there. Oh, are you talking about Otter Creek? Yeah, Kathy, no one. So no one who does reaction videos are wrong. You guys are wrong. No, this is not a reaction video, Kathy. This is a reaction video, but what they do is not reaction videos. They literally called for my channel to be taken down. This channel, and this channel helps people. That's what the mission of this channel. They told me I made a false CPS report. I didn't make a false report, and I was legally allowed to do what I did, and I made a good faith report. They were mad at it. They doxed me. They posted information about me and people I care about who had nothing to do with my CPS complaint. I was accused by Sluggo of swatting. Yes, it is. Kathy, you're the problem. You are the problem. Just like how these guys didn't think they would ever be accountable, you will be accountable one day. Will happen because you are like, you're completely in the wrong on this. Like, stealing this channel's content was wrong, and they did it. They got a copyright strike. Fair use does not go when you do not get permission to use the copyright media and then defame the editor. Absolute. There you go. And it shows malicious intent. That's where they were really stupid. DUI guys laid it out and told them exactly what to expect. You can give constructive criticism, and I will say Dave is better than Kevin. Dave was warned, but he called for this channel to be taken down. and he only did it a couple times. Slug went off on me for about a week. And when people were like, you got to stop him, I was like, no, I don't. I'm going to let him keep digging because he posted enough information that we were able to find his full docs. Am I posting it? No, I'm not. I'll tell you, his name is Kevin Hill. He lives in Virginia. He's a student at George Mason. I have enough on him. I had enough on him. These are all things, and I had people who wanted me to do. They wanted me to make bar complaints against Bruce. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Let's look at what Sluggo had to say. Kevin Hill. So this is Kevin Hill of Fairfax, Virginia. I'm going to be temporarily stepping back from coverage of What the Hells until I receive all the facts and both sides of the story. Maybe you should have done that in the first place. But Dave brought you in. Bruce encouraged you. And I know that you guys are all emailing because Dave said it on the thing. He said he was going to bring you into the emails with the attorney. The attorney's not sticking his neck out. You guys stuck your necks out. And now you guys are going to pay the price. Yep. I have seen wrongdoing on both sides while I have opinions on Jeremy. They are my opinions. I will continue to research offline so I can get a fuller understanding of the situation. Really? You called me a pedophile because I made a CPS complaint, Kevin. You put up information about me, about people that I care about. You put up information about, you tried to interfere with my nonprofit. You tried to interfere with my business. Remember I told you, Kevin, I don't need to go after you for defamation. I don't need to go after you for copyright claims. You were doing it yourself. Tortious interference of business contracts. Look up that legal term. Look it up. If someone doesn't have a conviction of child molestation or some type of sexual thing, probably not a smart thing to call him a pedophile, Kevin. Probably not a smart thing. You do you. You do you. Trust me, we got it. We even have your little pride flag that you put on your LinkedIn. We got that too. So you're all about inclusivity. You're supporting MAPS. What are MAPS? Minor attracted people. That's in the flag that you posted, dude. Kathy says you called him a pedophile also. Okay, Kathy, I will challenge you. Where did I do that? Where did I do that? I did no such thing. I insulted the guy. I told him to eat a bag of dicks. I told him he was balding. I told him his show sucked. Those are all opinions. Every single one of those are opinions. I told him he was an attention whore. I called him a salty bitch. That's what I did. None of that is defamation. Those are all opinions. In a best DUI guys, storage legends, and others. You spent a week on me. You didn't think to put me in there? So I can have a balanced and nuanced perspective on what's going on. If Flippin' Adventures or we have had Jeremy and George in the things I've watched these videos. If any of them, if you want, as you do this too, if you would like a co-plaintiff, you guys got my email. Mission at protonmail.com. We can all show those legal bills. Remember, they told me I was grifting. I wasn't grifting. I do fine for myself. I do just fine. Sluggo, you put up stuff from my divorce. Did you not think to look at the financial disclosures that I had to give in that divorce? You didn't think that's public record? You didn't think to pull those down? I was a huge fan of What the Hell's for 5 years. I donated money to them. He conned me. I want my money back. Okay, so then go, Kathy. Instead of being here in the freaking comments, go to small claims court. And if not, move on with your life. Move on. Don't come into my stream complaining and saying things that are untrue. Like that I called Kevin a pedophile, or saying things like Jeremy was an embezzler at a church. Those are all lies. Stop it. You look like the fool. Harassment is a crime. Absolutely it is. That's what these guys were doing. Kathy, you need to stop before you make a fool. No, she's already made a fool out of herself. Kathy, go back to your home. So I can have a balanced and nuanced perspective on what's going on. You're too late, dude. You should have done that from day one. From day one, you should have done that. I was willing to have Bruce on. Any of these people who they want to come on my show, I've given free reign. I'll have you on. I'll talk to you. But I'm not gonna sit and let you attack me, and I'm not gonna sit and listen to your bull. I sat back and I watched Kevin attack me, and I took screenshots. Everybody who is watching his show, I'm not going to give him views. Do me a favor, screen record. Record what he's saying about me. So we got it. We got it. Trolls want to dox Skipper. I can dox y'all too. I mean, we could do that. Here's the thing. We don't need to. We have the law on our side. Here, I saw your post, and you're the one who emulsement. Okay, send me the post. Send me veterannation@protonmail.com. Send me the post. I'll put it up. I will put it up. Hey, Mike, make me a mod, please. No. I want the haters here, Redzilla. I'll happily make you a mod, but I want the haters here. I love being able to confront them to their face, let them have their say. Just like here, I'll put them up on thing. Happily. Now, some of you guys are calling her names. I'm not putting those up. I should switch to this, though. No. There, I'll switch to this. Where? Oh, I didn't mean to put that one up. There we go. I'm going to get all sides so I can make my video on Jeremy, explain what's going sides, then move on from the topic. Too late, dude. Too late. Time for that was before you started doxing people. Yeah. I want people like Kathy in here. No problem. It's called active aggression. Most people are passive aggressive. They'll talk behind people's back, like what he's doing. Now, I will say this: Sluggo invited me on a show, but I wasn't going to give him any promotion. That's what I will say. He at least did that. But yeah, I wasn't going to give him any promotion. But he definitely crossed lines with both me and Jeremy. Doing all the stuff about Jeremy's kid was wrong. Absolutely wrong. That was someone in a mental health crisis. And anyone who posted or really talked about it was exploiting. I barely talked about it. I said Jeremy was doing a good job. Jeremy was doing a good job as a father with his responses. I saw the emails. Good job on you, Jeremy. And that just showed me Jeremy's character. You know. Sorry, I'm looking through you guys' things. Did you see Meltdown Cry? No, I did not. Do you have it? I would love love to see it. Like, dude, you guys picked this fight. You don't. I'll just give you guys a hint. Don't pick fights with people with more resources than you. I pick fights with the government when the government's doing wrong, but I have resources. I've worked in government. There are people who reached out to me and said, I support what you're doing. If this happens, you let me know. Like, I've had attorneys be like, I will represent you in this. I've had that. But that's when you know you're fighting for smaller people. Like, don't pick. This was a stupid fight for you guys to pick. Really stupid. Don't know. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to see if I can switch things. I'm just trying to move my little box to the other side. Maybe well, that makes it smaller. I hate that. I'll have to play around with this some more. I am not meaning to defame anyone. You called me a pedophile, dude. You accused me of swatting. He even accused me of swatting him. Now, and here's the thing: he's done it with other people. All the things he's done with me, he has done with other people. You don't think we have all of your tweets about the Star Wars girl? You don't think we have that? You don't think I could easily go to Tug right now and say, hey, this isn't the only guy he's attacked? Like, really? She's a big creator, you know? So I'll forgive some things. Like, I can, like, a big creator can defend themselves. So I'm not fighting for Star Wars girl. Jeremy's dealing with government corruption. I will absolutely always fight corruption and harassment by a government because it's a government. You, private citizens, you good luck. You do that. I might say it's shitty and stuff like that. I've never really taken on anything like that. I would guess it would have to be the situation. I'll look at it. My last post didn't make it through the follow-through screen. Stolen valor is one of the words that you can't say in the things. And that's been like that for a long time. When I had the Stolen Valor crew, that's when those words became automatically your thing won't go through. Because I wasn't going to let people come in and defame me on my channel. Live streams will continue, but Jeremy Hale's research will be sparse, but it will continue. But it will expand to new sources of information so I can a balanced and nuanced view of the situation. Dude, too late. Too freaking late. You did this to yourself, bro. Like, this was stupid. Stupid of you and Dave to pick up fights that you were never going to win. When you put anyone's life under a microscope, not everything is beautiful, but you'll look at the whole of them. But if you look at the whole of them, that's the person they are. Do you have a good heart? Are they doing good works? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and that's... Good morning, Kiki. You know, that's why before I started doing this show, before the show's mission became the nonprofit's mission. So I didn't have to write a mission for the nonprofit. It was the show's mission. And before we started doing the show, when I was asked to do this show, I said, here's what I will do. And I had, you know, I'm a Marine at heart. So I had to sit down and I had to come up with a mission for this show. And I wanted this show to be ultimately a positive aspect of life. I didn't want to do negative stuff. The mission of this show reminds me every single time I go live. I'm not doing any of this for hate. I'm doing all this to be a positive force. Hey, we got Almost 100 people in here. Everybody, please like, share, subscribe, and definitely comment. Your comments help. They do help people find us. I'm looking. Okay, I'm retweeting this. I'm going to push this to a couple things here real quick. And trust me, you think Slug's the first guy that went after me? You think Slug's the first guy that ever doxed me? No, my stuff's out there. There's a reason I live out in the middle of the desert and I can see people coming. Like someone turns down my road, I know about it. My dog barks and lets me know. So it didn't affect me that my dog. It didn't affect in a castle doctrine state. I can defend myself with weapons. Hello, Skipper. Saw you put a nail on the map today and nailed mine. Told you that. Then from Copenhagen, from Malmö, Sweden. Yes, I did. You're way up there. Way up there. Uh, yeah, you guys. Oh, and everyone who's on Facebook. One thing that I've had out there for a while that I haven't done too much with. We've got a Facebook account for the nonprofit, and I know a lot of you guys want to add me as friends on Facebook. Add me here. Add me here. Paris Island, 1975. Battalion, Steve. I was third. Mike Company, third battalion. So these guys, they're mad that there's now accountability. They've been operating free reign, saying horrible stuff. Like you think Sluggo? I'm the first person that Sluggo doxed. No. And do you want to know where we got most of his docs? From a former friend of his, Walla Wotek. Yep, Walla Wotek. Another Jeremy Hales hater. That's where we got most of your docs. Don't worry about your enemies. Your friends will normally be the ones that screw you over the most. You have to look at people's character. You have to look and see Columbia, South Carolina. I'll write that down. I think I might have you down already. I don't know. Because I think I've got. Where's my pen? That's okay. I got others. Ugh. Don't get old, folks. Your body starts hurting. Good advice. Don't get old. But yeah. Columbia. Let's see. That guy Slug doxed you on his channel. Oh yeah, on his channel on Facebook. He doxed me. He called me a pedophile. He accused me of swatting. He accused me of swatting him. I didn't even know where he lived. I didn't even know where he lived. We found out where he lived this weekend. Did I post it? Did I go public with it? No. Nope. Didn't need to. All I just told people when they would tell me stuff, I was like, screenshot it, send it to me. I'll keep it. I didn't need to do anything. I knew these guys will always be their own undoing. I'm late to the party. What's going on today? Well, both Stupid Dave and Sluggo are freaking out because Jeremy is going to be doing lawsuits. I know people want him to go after Ray Bone Crusher. Ray Bone Crusher has means. He does have means. He shouldn't have talked about Jeremy's son. That was wrong. As I've told you guys, don't get involved in someone's divorce. Don't. It's messy. I will be covering Nick Rekieta. That's a messy situation. It involves the Ameltes divorce. I don't like that part of it, but those two have put a lot of public stuff up. So I'll still be covering it, but I'm not going to believe everything that each side has said. This is so good. Who needs TV? Right? Right? Like swatting. I thought that was a butthurt gamer move. Oh, it absolutely is. Guess what Slug is? He's a gamer. He's been doing this for 11 years. He's only got 1,000 followers more than me, and I've been doing this for 4 years. And he claimed, "Oh yeah, I've only been paying attention for the last 4 years." It's like, okay, well, still, I've gotten more people in that time. One thing about this channel, it's been steady growth, and a lot of that was I had to research how YouTube works. You can, if you start going through my videos, you'll know the moment I start doing research because the thumbnails change. I used to not really do lives. I would do the show live, but like the lives like this, Coffee with the Skipper, I was like, you know what? I need something for the fans to be able to interact with me because I wasn't getting interaction. That's how this got born. The walk and talks, as I walk and talk with you guys, I was doing those when I was working from home. If I end up working from home again, I'll go back to doing those because I do walk. Um, I do try to walk as part of being healthy and stuff like that. Skipper, if the hitter would just stop and think they would see the real truth, now they need to look at. Well, here's the thing. I know they're like, you're just hearing Jeremy's side. Guess what? In court, you're going to be able to present your side. That's you wanted to hear both sides. We're going to hear both sides in court. That's the way court works. You wanted it. You wanted it, guys. Like, it's like you guys. Yeah, they asked for this. They were doing things to create this. We're only here because of them and their actions. Wonder what the two fleas will say tonight. Best thing I can tell to them is they should probably turn their channel into a fitness channel. Start talking about fitness and hopping on the treadmill. It'll help them in many different ways. Same thing with Milltown. Milltown, there you go. Free advice for you. Become a fitness channel. Make this about your lifestyle change. Get on a treadmill. Start eating healthy. If you look at me when I started this show, I had some health issues and I could not do stuff. And I was about 30 pounds heavier. But I'm a relatively active person. Once I got cleared to okay, you can do these things, I started doing them again. And my health has changed tremendously. I hope we get to see. I know they're going to try to. And now that there's more people involved, like Larry, DUI guy, Megan Fox, Tug, Legal Vices, NG Law, all those people. There's gonna be a lot more stuff. I choked on my coffee. Yeah, there's free advice. They could be running on a treadmill, and you know what? People would cheer them on. But when you're all about hate, yeah, yeah. These guys, they were mad at the stuff that I was posting, and I was just throwing up memes. Like I was like, you know what? I'm throwing up memes, proving everybody. So you guys all found the Facebook group, as I'm saying, but this, make sure you follow the Facebook account. There we go. Veteran Nation Foundation. Veteran Nation is one word, FNDT, and I believe I've got it's Facebook / Veteran Nation Foundation. It's either that or / Veteran Nation. I'm looking to see if I can I link to this? Yeah, I'll put it up on the YouTube right now in our community posts. Follow us. Yep, Veteran Nation Foundation. Facebook.com/Veteran Nation Foundation. Do that, you'll find us. My advice as a creator to 2 fleas: start a sewing channel. Yeah, they can learn about the faggot stitch. A real thing. I wish I would have known about that as a Marine. Every Marine, if they would have had like something that needed stitched up, because that happens with your uniforms, be like, yeah, you need to go in there and faggot stitch that up. Because we love insulting each other. So yeah, dude, what do you want? Someone said, "Hey, Jeremy, is Jeremy in here?" I didn't see him. Oh, they're in here. Oh, there we go. Jeremy and George, thank you. Yeah, we are talking about the stream last night and how all the haters have freaked out and they're now taking a break. But what they're not doing is apologizing. They're not apologizing. They're not retracting anything of what they said. You know, Slug is going to leave his doxes of me up. So, Jeremy and George, you want a co-plaintiff? They stole my content too? Let me know. And I'm out here in California. So I can sue out here where YouTube is, and it'll be hard for them to get it out of California. California and DC both don't like to give up jurisdiction even when they should. Ninth Circuit allows it. Don't ever get into a beef with someone in California if you can avoid it. Because if it ends up a legal thing, yeah, California courts are insane. They are insane. Share them out, Jeremy. What the hell's prayers for Wednesday? Yeah, these guys, they when they started putting things about Jeremy's divorce, when they were posting things about my divorce, all that is crossing the line. Hey guys, I have to go get more coffee. So I'm going to put on the bumper. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Be right back. See, I told you guys I'd be back. I just went and got a filler up. One thing about Slug that I want to say. What's up, Frank? Welcome. One thing I want to say about Slug. At George Mason, he is a philosophy major. And I mean, don't give me, I'm not going to knock philosophy majors. I actually think philosophy is a very important topic. People want to talk with me a lot about religion. I don't want to talk about religion most days because I was raised Catholic. I believe in God. I don't really like getting in the minutia of what I believe, but I do tell people I'm raised Catholic, so at least they know where my learning was. But I actually went to Catholic schools in Ohio, and they were very forward thinking, meaning I learned about a lot of different religions in Catholic school. They really wanted to show, here's what other religions believe. So I was actually like world religions was one of my best classes in college. Now, I should have taken more philosophy stuff because I didn't start studying philosophy until I got in the military. And I can tell Jeremy believes, or he might not exactly come out and say this is my philosophy, but Jeremy, because when he talks about religion and stuff, I can tell where his philosophical stance comes from. And for those of you who don't know it, you should study it. It's called Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius. If you're Familiar with the movie Gladiator? Marcus Aurelius. He wrote a book that is still talked about to this day, about Stoicism. My favorite was a Greek slave named Epictetus. This is why when Kevin was posting all the stuff, I did not care. Come after me, because it meant he wasn't going after someone else. And when you go after a stoic person or someone who believes in stoicism will think, first off, I can take this. I can take this so that others don't have to. And I will also not give you power over me. A lot of people were concerned about my mental health when he was calling me a pedophile and putting up my docs and talking about my divorce. I'm in therapy. Like, I'm not the guy to go after. I've been in therapy pretty much straight on since 2016. A couple breaks because the VA sucks and they take away your doctors and they do that crap to mess with you. But yeah, if I feel stressed, I can always go to my doctor. I know, I mean, here, come here, Lori, come on. Here's my service doc. She helps me with my therapy. And you see, she's right here with me. You're not going to bother me. These people who do stuff to try to get a rise out of me, I just go pet my dog. Like, I can pick up the phone right now and call my therapist. Like, her and I I've been with her for 2.5 years. We have a great relationship. She's been through a lot with me. So, with stoicism, it doesn't, I look at the end goal. I'm not going to let you make me a slave. Epictetus was a slave, but he was like, you know what? After his whole life of being a slave, he finally realized, I am not a slave. They cannot control what's up here. They cannot control my thoughts. And because I'm free in my mind, I'm a free man. I love you. You do a good job. She's 50% poodle, 1/4 Labrador, and 1/4 Australian Shepherd. Sorry I'm late. Who did what to you, Mike? So there's a YouTuber out there, goes by Slug. His name is Kevin Hill. Slug Entertainment. Do not go to his videos. Don't promote him. Check out his one last night where he realized that Jeremy's probably going to sue him, and you'll watch him panic. That was funny because he's been cocky. When he was coming after me and doxing me and posting stuff in Facebook, I was just posting memes back at him, like just calling him a loser, telling him he was low T, and he was having mental breakdowns. In fact, he posted, I'll find that one, and he posted that his goal was to have me have a mental breakdown. And dude, you're 5 years too late. 5 years too late. 5 years ago, you might have gotten me to have a mental breakdown. I was still going through a lot of my stuff, a lot of the stress, the PTSD stuff. But you learn how to deal with that stuff. I'm going to download this. So I'm going to download that one. And because where's it at here? I'm looking. Where did he put it? But yeah, he put that he wanted to cause me a mental breakdown. That was his goal. He is not a good person. Right there. That should show you. He is not a good person. I'm taking a look through another thing. I'll find it. It's in here. I know because some people had sent it to me. We'll get to it here. But yeah, that was his goal. Imagine being that type of person where your goal is to mentally mess with somebody. And this is what the VA does. This is why we lose 22 veterans a day, and that's just what the VA will admit to. They do this stuff where they will mess with people mentally. I'm not seeing it. Maybe if Max Lab, if he jumps in, maybe he'll post it. I do have it on my phone if I can find it. But it's just for the sake of being able to show you guys, this is who this person really is. Okay, I found it. Hold on. Here, I'll post it on Veteran Nation Foundation. So then you guys can go and see it for yourself. And here I'll share the screen so you guys can also see this is the foundation's our Facebook account. It's been up for a while. I just didn't do anything with it a lot. So here you go. Kevin Slug, that's him. My goal talking about me, my goal is to make him have a mental breakdown when I make sure everyone knows he's a criminal swatter. Okay, again, I've never swatted anybody. I made a CPS complaint. And I'm following that CPS complaint with a letter to the Attorney General. You guys have seen it. I'll post the final version today. Okay, get down. Thank you. Your goal is to get him. Kurt was smart. Your goal is to get him to give you attention. It's not going very well for you. Do you have a history or just want to be noticed? Yeah, that I think actually both were his goal. But he put it into writing. The dummy put it into writing. That proves malicious intent. Hey, no, thank you. That proves malicious intent. So anything this guy does, that we end up in a courtroom, we can show his intent based upon his own words and posts. Hey, I always said I just wanted to make fun of him, and that's what I was going to do, and I did it, and I knew it would bother him. No, go lay down. Just don't tear up my rug. She likes to. Glory likes to dig before she lays down. It's that thing where dogs build themselves a bed. And I've got a shag carpet in here, and or a shag rug in here, not a carpet. And yeah, she likes to dig at it. He needs a little Jesus and God in his life. Yes. Even if you're not a religious person, you should study Jesus's philosophy. If you don't believe Jesus is the Messiah, you don't believe he raised from the dead, at least study his philosophy, and you'll learn quite a bit. And actually, I think it's a pretty perfect philosophy. That's even if I wasn't a Christian, I would believe Jesus' philosophy. And everybody should study philosophy. You don't want to be religious, study philosophy. I think Kevin is smart for that, but I don't think he really. I think he studied philosophy, but I don't think he's really paid attention. Some people get their books, and they're like, "Oh, I like this page," and they don't read this page. You got to read both pages, and that's what I believe happened with Kurt or Kevin. That's what I think happened with Kevin. He was in philosophy because he thought it was easy, made him sound smart. He's definitely a smug individual, but it didn't work out for him. Now, to two leeches, to Stupid Dave, to Kevin, to Poop Lawyer, here's my message to you. Stop breaking the law, asshole! Stop breaking the law! Do unto others as you would have done to you. Absolutely. But not just that. Not just that. There's other good lessons there, like give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. You know, like every we have laws, we have organizations in place. They should be the arbiters of that. You know, we have companies. Companies should be the arbiters of what they're going to sell. Consumers should be the arbiters of what they buy. You know, everything has a place. To everything, there's a season. Um, I'm trying to think like other things that, you know, were part of Jesus's philosophy. I'm actually upstate New York currently. I'm going to see the falls today. Awesome, DJ Radis. If you're in Niagara, there's a lot of haunted houses up there. Unfortunately, with my PTSD, I don't know if I can do haunted houses anymore. I did one in War Castle in the UK, and oh yeah, it gave me a bad panic attack. For hours, my hand was shaking. But yeah, back to philosophy. Stoicism is a great philosophy. Um, um, a lot of what Jesus did was Stoicism esque, I'd say. You know, if turn the other cheek, that's Stoicism. Um, I wish more. Too many scientists want to talk about the religious debate. I wish more scientists, and maybe I do have a good friend of mine who actually used to work for Steven Crowder. If you guys are familiar with Steven Crowder, and he lives out here now. Not Steven Crowder, but my buddy. And I am trying to get him to come on the show. And he is a therapist, and we talk every time we talk. We talk about philosophy, Stoicism a lot. Um, as much as people do Bible study, I wish people would also do philosophy study. Those are some of the best discussions I had in the military. I remember I had one with a naval captain who was just an amazing guy, but he had really great, that's where philosophy really got introduced to me in the military. And I'd heard back when, because for most of my life, I went to Catholic school, private schools in Ohio. In fact, my one high school was all boys at the time. So I went to an all guys Catholic school, which was actually a very positive experience. I know people like to crap on it, but it was a great experience. And I heard then that I should study philosophy, and I really didn't. And if I had to redo my undergrad over, I would study more philosophy. I'm glad to see that Kevin has. He needs to start putting those lessons into his life. That's what he needs to do. But with both Kevin and Dave, and we'll see with Two Leeches, there's no regret. Well, no, there's regret, but there's no remorse. Here's the thing. Again, going back to Jesus' teaching, I can forgive them, but still hold them accountable. I can still hold them accountable. Doesn't mean I have to ruin them or anything. I'm not trying to take anybody's channel. Never. I've never stated that. They've stated that about this channel. They were trying to take this channel. Bruce, Stupid Dave, and Kevin all said that. They were trying to take away this channel. To them, I always said good luck. I mean, if they were successful in taking down my YouTube channel, I would just keep doing this, but in other means. I'd probably start a Rumble. You move on. In some ways, I kind of wish Rumble wasn't as big when we started the channel, but Rumble pays out pretty good. I have a Rumble. I just haven't figured it completely out yet just to work with Restream. I will. It'll take me some time. DJ Rest, don't think that way. I've brought him in and allowed me to be happy and accept for me. Thing. If you don't want to be religious, you don't have to. Start looking in philosophy. Stoicism, utilitarianism, and Kantianism are all very Western things. I believe in stoicism and natural law. Those are the two things that, if you ask me what philosophies do I prescribe to, those would be the two. The only thing they regret is it coming their way. Oh yeah, yeah. They regret the consequences that are coming. They don't regret what they did. So I I don't know what it'll look like for me. We've already had discussions about I've talked to my attorney about holding them accountable. Everyone wanted me to do a bar complaint against Bruce, and my attorney was like, I understand where they're coming from. There's better ways for us to do stuff. There is much better ways for us to do stuff to also put ourselves in a better position with this. And that's why I've got attorneys. The foundation has an attorney. My business has an attorney. That's why we have those. And it's a business expense for both of those. As I've told you guys on the show, as a Marine, I got to talk to JAG lawyers all the time. We always had Marines in trouble. So I used to always be like, hey, let me take you to lunch on Friday. And I would just pick their brain about law stuff because I found it interesting. If you really want to, if you have a day off, and obviously today's Labor Day, you can't do it today because everything's closed. But if you have a day off, go and sit in court. You will learn something. You will see some interesting stuff. I've said they're trying to destroy Jeremy's channel. Yeah. They don't just want to do that. They want to destroy Jeremy. You saw that with him wanting me to have a mental health breakdown. They want to destroy people. This is how people take their own lives. Right there. Of people who just won't stop. When I was in a relationship that was abusive, I was always the first one to walk away in arguments. And I didn't know what I know now about domestic violence and what I know now about mental health. That's abusive. When someone won't let you disengage and just go calm down, that's abusive. And I know that now. But yeah, I had a partner who would follow me around. I had to get away. I would have to lock myself into a bathroom or into a room just so I could just be like, calm, just so I could get to that. And it's not healthy. And people will support people who do stuff like that. It's gross. It is absolutely gross. Saw a quick buck latching onto Jeremy hate, but they couldn't be bothered verifying what they were presenting as fact. It's now going to cost them more than what they made. Yeah, their big mistake was going after Jeremy's family. That was the biggest mistake. Like people like me and Jeremy. And again, I can say because I can see where he's a stoic individual. You can go after us. It's not going to bother. Come after me. Come after me all day. You go after someone we care about. It's on. It is on. A man mentally caused a young girl to unalive herself. It was a big case. Oh, yeah. And that happens every single day. This is what the VA does to our veterans. This is what they do. And then say, oh, we care about veteran health. No, you don't. No, you harass veterans every day. You mess with them. Purposefully to mess with them. What they're doing is actual online harassment. Absolutely. They got put their mission and goal out there is absolutely moronic. Yeah. Calling people like me a pedophile just to justify your unjust actions, that's you coping. You want an end that you know is wrong. Like somewhere deep in your core, it's telling you that you are wrong. It's going against your morals, and it's bothering you. It probably was even causing him, like he suffers from anxiety. Kevin does. I already know that. Someone who sent to me said I showed this clip where he was like pacing. He went behind his camera and he's pacing. He's talking about me and he's so angry about me. and I recognize it. Guess what? Some of my that's some of my symptoms. If I start having a panic attack, I will pace. I will pace. I talk things aloud. It can be a way to get the stuff out. So it can calm me down. It can be a little bit healthy, uh, but you have to go get treatment for it, and recognize that's what you're doing when you're doing it. Because if you don't recognize it, you're never going to stop that cycle. Uh, but someone sent it to a therapist friend of them who said that guy's got trauma. That's a mental break right there. He's got some trauma. Now, if I were him, and I'm going to teach all you guys, if you suffer from this stuff, before you ever have an attack, write this down. Write down some happy memories that you have. Think of a family member that you have that you love. Think about how they smell. Think about how they sound. Little things that they do. Think about, like, I think about my grandparents' house growing up. It was near train tracks. And I remember staying at their house at night and listening to the train drive by. Like, these are, I'm putting myself there mentally, thinking about it, listening to the train go by, thinking of how it smelled, how the sheets, the sheets and the blankets had a certain feel at my grandparents' house. When you do that, when you're if you write all that down and put it on a sticky somewhere, or so that you can recall it, when you're having one of those mental breaks or having those issues, and you start doing that, it brings you out of it. It will bring you out of it. That's why I have Glory. She will jump on me. If I'm at Walmart and I start having, someone set me off, and now she'll jump on me, and she's saying, "Dad, what's happening? Stop it." And I'll look and she's my reminder. She's my reminder, and then it's boom, I'm out of it. Literally, when I got this dog, it was like someone just hit a light switch, and that's how, my things. I said 5 years ago, I would have not taken any of this stuff well. That was before I was doing this channel. 5 years ago is when I got Glory. Service dogs help. Support service dog organizations. Custom Canines is who gave her to me. If you don't want to donate to Custom Canines, donate to another place. Operation Battle Buddy is one that I follow on. It's down in Texas. I follow that on Facebook. But yeah, and some of these places like Custom Canines gets government grant money. So, like, I've had many veterans be like, I don't want a free dog. There are more disabled people, and I get that. Veterans are very much like that. They don't want to get their VA benefits because, well, I could be taking someone else. I was talking with a veteran the other day who said, I don't want to do the stuff for the 3M ear money, that lawsuit money, because there's other people out there. Don't worry about that. You have a disability. Take what's yours. It's their job to make sure everyone with disabilities are taken okay. And a place like Custom Canines, when they help a veteran, they get more grant money because they go back and say, we helped 50 veterans this year. So they get more grant money. And then they get donations on top of that, which means that helping more veterans means they help more disabled people who are not veterans. It's cyclical. So don't ever. Jeremy admitted to having panic attacks in court. Yes. And I don't know if it's Jeremy or George who's watching here this morning. They get easier. That's one thing I will tell you. They get easier. He recognizes it, so he'll be able to get himself out of it. But there are tricks he'll learn. Everybody, everybody's brain is different. For some people, medication really works. For some people, it really doesn't do much. Try it. I always say try. The auditory and the memory things that I'm talking about doesn't always work for everyone. Find things that will make you work. Service dogs won't work for everybody, but I find that they're actually quite amazing. There's a woman who I'm helping. She is starting a nonprofit. She's not in Otter Creek. She's actually in Georgia near the Florida line. She is a woman who learned uh, how to train service dogs while she was in prison. She is doing that to better herself. This is just a positive thing. So many people get helped. Uh, you know, I've she's asked me about my 501c3. I've given her advice. The hardest part with a 501c3 is funding. It's absolutely funding. And I told her, if you're going to do service dog things, she wants to bring veterans in and teach the veterans how to train service dogs as well as provide dogs to, get rescue dogs, train them, give them to veterans. And I think, or give them to people who need service dogs. And I think it's a great thing that she's doing. But I told her, I said, you're going to have to figure out funding because everything costs money. And finding donors is going to be really hard. There are going to be people who don't trust you because you're a felon. I said, so here's what you should do. What are things tied to that you can promote and make money off of? I was like, start selling dog equipment, leashes, collars. Start, do dog grooming. That's a service you can provide. All you need is a set of clippers, a place to do it, some water. I said these type of things will, you're going to get people who bring their dogs to you. They come to you for dog stuff, and you're a dog nonprofit. And when you do this and be like, hey, yeah, we're selling this stuff. Would you mind leaving us a donation? I go, that's where you'll get your funding. That is absolutely where you'll get your funding. And I said, here's the other downside about a 501c3. It's going to cost you money. It costs me money. There are ways that she can take advantage of it. I told her, I said, you could, as you get your nonprofit going, you could buy facilities, for these dogs, and, you live there. I said, running a kennel, so many places need, good places where they can drop off their dogs. And if you tell people, look, I'll watch your dog, but you have to donate to our organization, people will do that. And I also told her subscription-based stuff. Subscription-based stuff is actually like, imagine if you could do like, hey, I'm going to do doggy daycare every day, and I'm going to pay X amount a month. That's subscription-based. That's what that is. And it keeps a very stable way of funding. Too many nonprofits asking for funds, not enough donations. Yeah, there's not enough donations to go around. That's why I tell people, veterannationfoundation.com, buy something. If you donate to me, I'll be thankful. I will absolutely thank you, but I would much rather you get something back, because if you like our coffee mugs, and this is not one of our coffee mugs, this one's from Excalibur in Vegas. If you like our coffee mugs, I'm going to get $3 back from our coffee mugs that I can then help veterans with. I don't want your donation. I want to help people, and I want you on my side to help people. Because if you buy one of my things, you're like, well, I did a good thing. You're probably going to buy more of my merch. And I would much rather have your help long term. If I take someone like Eric and I push out his Give, Send, Go, you're going to be helping him. You're not donating to me. You're donating to the person who actually needs it. We're streaming on YouTube right now. If you give me a super chat, I'm going to be very thankful. But YouTube takes 30% of that money. 30%. Whereas you buy a t-shirt from me, I have determined how much I'm going to get back of that t-shirt. You can, if you just go on Veteran Nation Foundation, you just want to give me a donation, you go on there, you can donate directly to us. Just with that, you can just make a donation. I'm not asking you to. I would much rather you buy merchandise. And that's why I'm always asking you guys, what type of stuff would you guys like to see? Would you like the mug that says "Shut Up, Boot"? But yeah, that's why I do things this way. I sat back for a long time interviewing nonprofits before I ever started one. So I knew what I was getting into when I started this. There's a reason why my nonprofit is small. All these people like Kevin and Dave and Bruce and the two leeches, they contacted the IRS to complain about our nonprofit for various different things. Oh, he doesn't have this thing posted. Well, guess what? I've already sent it to the IRS. And the IRS said, hey, we want you to make these changes. Guess what? I'm making the changes. I have until a certain date to get it in, and I'm legal. I'm perfectly legal. It's September. I've got to do my statement of information for the state of California this month. I know that. I'm going to do it. I know I've got to do it. But, you know, these people, like, they were like, you can't post about political stuff. I absolutely can. I can do political speech. Citizens United, that lawsuit. It technically wasn't that lawsuit that determined that corporations are people. That one was one called Southern Pacific, the Santa Rosa, California. But that one did say corporations have political speech rights as well. Nonprofits are corporations. They are. So I have the foundation has political speech rights, and we're a veteran foundation. There are going to be laws that affect veterans, and we're going to have to take a side. What we cannot do, is dedicate foundation money to any political candidates. Can't do it. Or I can't donate money to I can't give it to like the Republican Party or the Democrat Party or the Libertarian Party, any of those. I can't donate money to that. I can talk about the candidates. I can tell which ones I think are good, which ones I think are bad. I can do that all day. It's free speech, and it's protected. But reporting our foundation to the IRS, first off, the IRS isn't going to care. Our foundation, we haven't even pulled in $1,000. I don't believe. I think I'd have to total everything up. I think we're still around with the payouts that are about ready to happen from our merch store and from YouTube. I think we're going to be at like 800. So I mean, the IRS it's going to cost them more money to have someone look into us, like really look into us, than it ever would of any money they give. And if they looked into us and found we're doing wrong, they'd be like, yeah, we're going to take away your tax exempt status, and in a year you can reapply for it. Everyone. Do I have the book? There's a book out there called The Millionaire Next Door. And that book just tells you the habits of rich people. I'll give you a couple things that I took from that. Rich people insure everything, and they insure it fully. They insure their car fully. Doesn't matter if the car's paid off. Where people are like, you only need to carry liability. No, insure it fully. Insure your valuables. Take pictures of your valuables. Make sure that they're insured fully. Because then when you experience a loss, you're getting money back. And it's not a loss. It becomes a realized loss rather than an unrealized loss. So that's the first thing that rich people do. The other thing that rich people do is every single one of them has a business. Even if it's a Schedule C at-home based business. For a Schedule C, look it up. You don't have to do any paperwork. It's just, I sell my crafting stuff. I make jewelry out of my house, out of the rocks I find, and then I sell them at the local market. That's a business. That is absolutely business. Give it a name. You don't need a bank account for it. You don't have to file an LLC. Wait until you get to that point. If you do want to do an LLC, look at because you don't have to start it in your state. Look at Wyoming. Look at Delaware. Nevada's getting good. Florida's pretty good. Set your business up in those states. My business is set up in Wyoming. But have a business. There's a reason why you should have a business, because you can expense things. Like when you need an attorney because some jerk is doxing you and calling you a pedophile online and threatening that if cops just come to their door or CPS comes to the door, that they're gonna take action against you. You can then go talk to your attorney. It'll cost you $300, but for that hour of discussion. But guess what? That's an expense. That becomes a business expense. And you can tell the IRS, hey, I paid this money. I need it back. As long as as long as your expenses are outweighing your profits, you'll get money back. And trust me, that's what all these corporations do. People are like, oh, these greedy corporations. No, what they do is they do their normal business through the year. And then, oh, we got taxes coming up. Did we make a profit? Okay, yeah, we did. What's our tax liability going to be? Ooh, that's a lot of money. Okay, instead of doing that, let's buy something big like a yacht or a jet that can be absolutely written off because the government has put in that loophole. Because the government puts in loopholes, that's what they do. It's, oh yeah, now our tax liability is only this, or we actually might get money back. That's exactly what they do every year. And there's rich people who talk about that stuff. So I don't care how much money you have or don't have, you should have a business. It's funny you mentioned the craft part of it because I'm starting diving paintings. I've been working on them very digitally lately, and I'm thinking about opening my own little business. That's great, Jen. Jen, when you open your little business, send us something. I will promote it. You're a fan of the show. You deserve it. Um, you know, I've long said veterans want to promote their businesses on this show, and I brought in several veterans and their businesses just to talk about them, and I'm happy to do it. Happy to promote good people. Sorry, I'm just retweeting this out. We got a bunch of people watching. 161. Everyone, please smash the like, share, subscribe. Also, give us comments because those do put us in front of more people. And you can follow the Veteran Nation account on YouTube. In fact, I'm seeing that we have people who want to talk in the Veteran Nation group. But yeah. I can't tell you how many disabled veterans who are 100% VA disabled and then also on SSI. And I've told them, you should start a business. The things that you're doing for your, therapy, or if you're like physically disabled, yeah, do paintings, do art, do, creative stuff. You could start a podcast. That can be your business. Start a podcast. This podcast, it predates the foundation, but the same people who own this podcast do the foundation. You can expense things. Doing this podcast, I bought a gaming PC so that I could have enough PC power to be able to stream. I bought webcams, microphones, uh, uh, tripod stands, all this stuff. I expensed it all. Like last year, I had thousands of dollars of expenses because of this show. And you get your money back in your taxes. That's what every rich person does, and you guys should be doing it as well. I don't know if The Millionaire Next Door, if that book is available as a book on tape, but I'll tell you a similar one that you can listen to on YouTube if you're not a big reader and you'd much rather listen, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki. Really smart guy. Really smart guy. I would love to interview him. I would love to go hear him speak as well. I'm disabled. Doing this diamond painting definitely helps. That's amazing, Jen. Awesome. Well, VeteranNationFoundation.com or Veteran Nation at Proton Mail if you want to email us, or you can DM us. You guys saw the Facebook. You can DM me on the Facebook. You can DM on X. You can actually call me on Facebook Messenger and on X now. So if you want to talk with me, I did 2 Facebook calls yesterday. And that's the thing. Like, I do like that social media is doing these things where now we can be available. If you're worried about secure communications, X does encrypted calls. I don't believe Facebook's phone calls are encrypted. I'm on 100% VA, full SSD, but both have rated me unemployable. Okay, Roy. All right. You are unemployable. Owning a business is not employment. It is not employment. You could do like what Jeremy does. Buy stuff and sell it. You're just being a consumer, but your business can do that. And Hal Sellers has a glass jaw. Oh yeah, he got rocked. I can't wait until I can show you guys that video. But yeah, uh, you can still have a business. You're a veteran, Roy. Okay. I don't know what your living situation is, but if you bought, let's say you bought a small piece of property where you are and put a trailer on it, and you did it cheap, it's not going to be the most thing. Like you can use your VA home loan, okay, and now your living expenses are, you know, they're going to be protected by the VA home loan, which every veteran should be using their VA home loan. You can buy a piece of property without putting anything down. Just FYI, you still have to have your earnest money deposit, which is normally like $1,000. But if you like, there are places that can help you with that. But yeah, buy a place, operate a business out of there, and it could be, you could literally, if you bought enough land and you know there's a house and you're like, okay, I'll Airbnb out the house and I'll live in a trailer on the property. You can do that, and that's a business expense, as long as the money that goes into the business doesn't come to you personally. And pretty much what that means is spending money. Let's say you need a car. Buy a car through the business. It's a business car. Buy a beater for yourself, but you need a new nice car. Yeah, buy it through the business. You can do that, and it's a business expense. Guess what? Your business is operating out of your home. You can uh, set 2 weeks of rent every year to your business of your home, and that is a legitimate expense. So you personally can expense your business and say, yeah, I'm renting you my home for 2 weeks for, I believe it's for a conference. Totally legal. Call the IRS, they'll tell you. And you can say, yeah, my mortgage is X amount a month, so divide that in half. That's 2 weeks. I want that money from my business, and you can actually pay yourself from your business. It's not income in that situation. It's a business expense. You just put it right onto your mortgage. There you go. Your bank account has never touched that money, and it's legal to do. Your bank account doesn't touch the money. It's not really income. That you got to be like, be careful with some of the stuff of well, it didn't touch my bank account. It's not income. That's not a general statement. But just know the rules. Go in, and there's lots of people out there. You can easily find a CPA and just be like, look, I'm going to pay you $100. I just want tax advice that I can call you through the year. And they'll be like, oh yeah, sure. I'll take phone calls and be like, hey, how do I do this? Yeah, a lot of people, their home ends up being their biggest saver. And like, if you are operating your business, you have to be careful with a home-based business of saying, oh, this is a home office. I would not recommend doing that because there's so many rules. But the conference thing, you can absolutely do. You should never buy property in our name. Always buy a living trust. Well, you have to. Okay, you have to if you're a veteran. You have to buy it in your name. But that doesn't mean it has to stay in your name. You can buy the property, no money down, pay it. You have to live in it, primarily residence, for 6 months for the VA home loan. But then you can look at transferring the deed into your business's name, or you can sell it outright to your business at a discounted cost and just pay off the note. And if you do that, then you can actually use your VA home loan to buy another property, which is exactly what I'm doing. That is exactly what I'm doing with my properties here. The VA home loan is a way that you don't have to put money down. It's a way of being able to get property without a lot of upfront expense. So yeah, these are all And if you want to call and talk about these things offhand, I'll talk to you about them. I'm not a CPA, so I can't give you financial advice, but I can tell you, I can give you the big wave tops, and we can talk about your specific thing. But I'll always tell you, verify anything I'm going to tell you. Go to a CPA, get actual financial advice. If you're a vet or your parent was a vet, USAA Federal Savings Bank has a lot of free financial advising as well as banking. Also, so does Navy Federal Credit Union, and they've relaxed a lot of the things. You could be like, "Oh, I was never in the Navy." Yeah, but if you know a family member that was, or in the Marine Corps, they will. And I think they're even starting to offer Army and Air Force as well. Uh, they're relaxing all those rules because they want more members. Blah, blah, blah. Not worth the hassle of my medical condition. I can't get out and about. Used to run a Christian publishing company when I was younger. Well, I mean, there are things you can do in your house. Yeah, podcasts. Um, uh, I don't know if you can You might be able to publish books from your home using Amazon. I'm trying to find your Facebook. Okay. Veteran Nation is all one word. If you go to Facebook slash, you're on YouTube. If you click on the YouTube page, I posted it in the community tab. But if you go into Facebook, facebook.com/Veteran Nation Foundation, and you'll find it. But you see how I've got Veteran Nation, all is one word, and then FNDTN. That's how I've got it. So I started diamond painting because I can get out much easier myself than disabled. Well, and you can take your disability and turn it into a strength. I have taken all of my PTSD journals and I'm rewriting them. I'm actually using AI to help me, and I've got 4 completed chapters. I'm writing a book. I'm kind of thinking, there's a certain length I want the book to be, but when I am ready to publish, the money for the book is going to come back to Veteran Nation. Between my VA and SSD, I have enough to pay my bills and live comfortably enough. Just no vacation. Well, I'm glad that you can live comfortably, but just know vacations can be a business expense. And I'll give you an example. We went on a cruise, me and my parents. I had some veterans who went. We were back almost a year ago. We were touting it, the Warriors Cruise. We wanted to try it out to see if we could make money on it. It wasn't the greatest fundraiser. It was fun. It was a good time. But we went to Mexico. And while in Mexico, there were other people on the cruise doing this. We went and looked at properties. Guess what? That whole cruise became a business expense. That was over $3,000. And like I'd paid, you got to pay for the cruise up front, and then when you're on the cruise, you got your your bill for food and stuff like that. It all was a business expense because we went and looked at properties in Mexico that we still to this day are considering buying properties down in Puerto Vallarta. We loved Puerto Vallarta. Cabo was okay. Mazatlan, I was a little bit wasn't that impressed with Mazatlan. Puerto Vallarta, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. My parents were nervous about going to Mexico, and we got to Puerto Vallarta. My mom was like, "I could absolutely go here." Okay, I was just checking something on here, but as you can see, like these guys who are all negative and came after this show, came after Jeremy Hales, like they're reaping what they sowed. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And thank you, Danu, for putting the link in there. But yeah, like I want to get a group of veterans together to start doing. I think it would be great for a group of us to start doing real estate investment. I really do. where all us veterans, we each kind of have a piece of the pie. Do you know how much scrutiny and hassle it is when you travel with morphine? Okay, that I will give you, Roy. That I will give you. But again, I want to start being able to take this show on the road. I would, and when I do that, all the expenses with that will be a business write-off. And if I start getting to the point where I can like get a good van or a big truck, like I had someone try to talk me into a 7-ton, and I was like, as much as I would love that, those things break down all the time. I would need someone who's around here and I do have a lot of Marines out here who work on diesels, but I don't know if they have the shop that they could work on it in. Because I would love to have a Humvee or a 7-ton to travel around the country, but I think I'm going to start with a van, like a conversion van, a windowless rapist van, and I'll just throw a Veteran Nation sticker on the side, paint it like the teal color that I kind of brand everything in. That's what I would do, because if it's that teal, people are going to see it, and then if I have the Veteran Nation Foundation logo, people are going to be like, "Oh, what's that?" And be able to say, "Check us out on YouTube, veterannationfoundation.com," all that stuff. But and then I can start going to more veteran events. Like I'm thinking, I would like to go to Sturgis, Memorial Day. I would like to go to DC for Rolling Thunder, stuff like that. If I can start going and doing videos and stuff like that, and if I have it set up and like I can pick a veteran like yourself up, so that way you can take a vacation and maybe it's not as expensive as trying to go yourself. That would be good. I can see stuff like that happening. Like Gravy's in Nebraska. I would love to go. I don't know if he's in here today. I would love to. Oh wait, no, he's not in here. Gravy is he's in a facility getting some help for his medical stuff, and he had to fight for that. So Gravy will not be in here today. I've got something with a big Cummins diesel. Even the big rig shops can make repairs. Yeah, but diesels are really expensive. I would love one, but they're really expensive, and 7 tons break down all the time. And I know this because I was a logistics officer. I had the truck platoons. I had the maintenance platoons. Those things break nonstop. I would love to have one, though. I would love to have one. Could you imagine if I had a Humvee with the Veteran Nation logo? Now, this would be cool. If I can get a van or a truck and then get a trailer and put the Humvee on the trailer, or wouldn't work with a 7-ton, it'd be too heavy, but get a Humvee and be able to take that to the events and have a Humvee with the Veteran Nation logo. I think that would be cool. These are all like good goals for this. Sad that a veteran has to fight for care. Absolutely. Absolutely. Both parents, Army, brother, Navy, sister, Air Force. Doesn't USAA require to be handed down to you? If you have a family member, that served, you can join. The morphine that makes me unemployable is you can't get insured under any business policy. They won't insure you. You can't be a forklift driver while on morphine. I was a safety officer for many, many years. And trust me, I know the OSHA rules. No, you cannot. I need more coffee. I'm gonna turn on my little thing here, and I'll go get coffee and be right back. I love that elevator music. I was like, oh, I like this one. It's like jazzy. Because as I told you guys the other day, I was going to use the hold music for the VA, but that's actually proprietary. It's owned by Cisco. It's not often you find good channels like this one. Oh, Jen, that is you are so sweet. That Jen, did you just find the channel the other day? Because like, are we a new channel for you? What about the group of beta covering an old bus to be able to use it for vets to travel holiday and to help mental health? I did not. I did not hear about that one. Send it to me. There's a couple veteran organizations that I've talked to. Um, in fact, there's a couple. One does a thing for PTSD help where they actually do camping trips and they microdose on MDMA. It's all under a doctor's thing, and you're like, really? A bunch of veterans going out into the woods and taking methamphetamines? Yes, it's a real nonprofit. Um, and I told him, I was like, look, I've never done any of that stuff. I probably wouldn't. I don't really like. I'll take my meds for my panic attacks, but I really don't do other drugs. I do have some edibles here because it's legal in California. That if I have a major attack, it's a break glass in case of uh, what's it, in case of emergency type of situation. So I'll do that. Vets, not bets. Okay, no worries. Yeah, let me know where their stuff is. I'd like to. Humvees are junky. The only thing cool about a Humvee that I loved is you can drive them through water. Like, they're not amphibious, but if you have there's a pole that goes onto the exhaust so that it keeps the exhaust flowing out. You can, like, I have literally driven a Humvee where I was up to water in my neck. Like, it was up to my neck. You have to drive in very slow, let the water get into the vehicle so it doesn't like start floating around, because it will float. You just gotta sit there and you slowly ease in. But I have. It was in training, but it was essentially like fjording a river. There was no current though. Um, Hubby uses edibles for panic or anxiety. Nice. Um, I'm very. The channel's new for you, so you did well. We're glad to have you, and yeah, we try to do good things. Snorkeled on the intake. Eric is like me. He has a lot of bad ideas. Maybe that's why we get along. I have always wanted to do ask a veteran, or like a bad advice channel, or like maybe I'll just do it as a thing where if you just ask me, if you send in questions, maybe I'll just do it as a bit on the show, and we'll just give you our advice, which is absolutely going to be horrible advice. Absolutely. Um, in fact, you can call into, we got our phone number down here. Yeah, right here. And that is 225-395-1838, or you can dial bald 951 vet. Bald 951 vet. VET. I had a large Land Rover I used to submerge. Yeah, Land Rovers are pretty good. Um, I actually, there were a couple Brits a couple Brits that were in Camp Leatherneck when I was there, and I was like, can I take a ride in your guys' Range Rover? And they were like, sure, mate. They didn't care. They were like, yeah, go ahead. It was fun. I just wanted to see it. The Danes, oh my God, the Danish. So I think we might have a couple people. I know we have a couple people who watch um, the channel from the Netherlands. Their military has great equipment, and they keep it impeccably clean. Um, their royal family should be proud. That's a very attractive royal family, by the way. They've got some lookers in that family. If there's a Danish princess watching, or duchess, you can always reach. uh, I would be horrible. It's like I'm still. I still get flabbergasted that I was a military officer because I was never about the pomp and circumstance. Signing off, need to get groceries. Have a good one. Have a good one. Save some money. Cut those coupons. Yeah, I was never one for the pomp and circumstance. Like, like saluting, as an example. If a Marine didn't notice me, I'd be like, "Hey, Marine," and then they would, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," and they would salute. I wouldn't make a big deal of it. I didn't need to yell or anything like that. Sometimes Marines just not paying attention. They got to learn situational awareness. Um, but it was never like a big thing. You get these dependents who are like, "You didn't salute my car," and it's like, you're not the Marine. So, and my ex was definitely one that wore my rank on her shoulders. I hated that. Yeah, so like I remember I went into this one unit, and okay, the government does we do a lot of dumb things in the military, and I'm gonna get on my high horse for a second. One stupid thing is parking. We can screw up parking like no other, and it's because everybody believes they're entitled to a parking spot in the military. So I get to this unit, and I'm going to be the S4 officer. And S4, for those of you who don't know, means logistics. There's S1, which is admin, S2 is intel, S3 is operations, S4 is logistics, S5 is normally engineering. It can be a couple other things. S6 is communications, and those are your staff roles. And then you have special staff like your doctor or corpsman. You'll have your supply officer, things like that, right? Your chaplain. But I was the S4, and I get in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sir, your parking space is right out here," and I'm like, "My parking space?" They're like, "Yeah, you're right here." I'm like, "We're the S4 office." I'm like, at a battalion. How do I have a parking space? And that was like the first thing about that unit that should have clued me in that it was not the greatest unit. I walked outside, every billet essentially had a parking space. So guess what? That is a problem in the military because like the general, sergeant major, commanders, first sergeants, company commanders, they get a space. They have a role that's important. They need to park close to the building and be able to get inside. I'm even okay with people like the chaplain having a parking space, the special staff, officers. The S1, the S3, we're staff. We are basic staff. We do not need parking spaces. And when you give everyone a parking space, you actually are taking away tons of parking because when they're not there, guess what? That space goes unused, but people still have to park way far out. So you're making things way more inefficient. Your prime commanding billets absolutely should have a parking space. Me as a staff officer, I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I said, that is not my parking space. That is the office parking space. I go, so whoever comes in here first in the morning gets to park there. They get to park there. It's a first come, first serve for the people in this office because I'm not going to aid. I don't want that space to go empty. And here's the thing. If someone takes that space, I really don't care. Don't bring that problem to me. That is not a problem. Go park your happy ass out and walk an extra 15 feet in. You can get a little bit of extra PT in, Marine. And I said, I don't care. I go, whoever's opening up this office, and I had a civilian, and he, for the most part, every day opened up the office. But there were days, I said, there's days where if the PFC comes in first, PFC, that's now your parking space for the day. You can park there. If you're the one here first and you open this office door, or you have to be here for a working party or something, that is your space. And it will be your space as long as your car is parked there. I'm not going to make you move. And I said, don't let me find out any senior person is making a junior person move out of that space. First come, first serve. That's my first standing order in this office. And so many places have parking issues in the Marine Corps because everybody wants to be special. And it's the pomp and ceremony. And yeah, I was never about that stuff. Okay, if you're doing a parade or something, okay, I'll do what I need to do, but I never needed any of that for me. Like, the honor for me was being able to give an order and have Marines follow it. That is the greatest honor. I cannot tell you. That's a greater feeling than almost anything in my life except for being a father. Having people that trust you, that will follow your orders instantaneously. That to me was worth every bit of thing. And I only left the military when I recognize now I had PTSD. I was angry then, and I didn't know why. And all I knew is it wasn't good, and the young Marines were going to feel the brunt of it because crap runs downhill. And when the captain's not happy, that means the gunny's not happy, which means the staff sergeants and sergeants are not happy, which means the corporal's not happy, which means the lance corporals and the PFCs are not happy. So we got Conspiracy Kitty. His tail's making a appearance. Fat Kitty is on a diet. Had another kitty in the house, so I'd increased the automatic feeder to go double of what it was, and now the dog wants attention because the kitty's getting attention. So the kitty was getting double, or I increased it to double for 2 cats, and then Miss Angel wanted a little bit more privacy, so she moved out in the trailer, and the kitty's out there. And also the kitty loves it. That kitty loves it because he gets to go outside. He's partially outside kitty, whereas Conspiracy Kitty stares out the window all day. But I forgot to turn off the extra stuff on the automatic feeder, and he was just eating. And now we're on a diet because you are so fat. Look at this paunch. Fat little boy. Yeah. Animals will help your PTSD. They will. They also can hurt your not hurt your PTSD, but make you a little bit too reliant, because you can isolate and only want to be around the animals because the animals just give you unconditional love. So you do have to be careful. I have to be careful. I have to force myself. Today I'm forcing myself to go out in town, and you have to do that periodically. Joe Biden asking the Marine Corps to make up a song. Oh, right. Like, who are you? You're the first lady. You're banging someone that the people put their trust and faith in. You do not get the trust and faith of people. Like, ugh. What a piece of crap. And if you like her, I apologize. I will apologize, but yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I like it when people are humble, when people respect our military and the things that we do. Ooh, that's actually good coffee. I'm out of Indies coffee. I need to order more, but I bought some whole bean coffee at Costco because I knew I was running low, and I just have to get onto Indies website and order some more. But I did get some whole bean as a new backup, and that's what I made today. Pretty good. I knew she'd move. This dog is funny, resting her head on my lap. We've been streaming for 2 hours, folks. Why are these pod people and friends attacking your military service and lying on you, saying you were never in the service? Because that's their only line of attack. They also called me a pedophile. Not a pedophile. I am not stolen valor. I did serve in Afghanistan. I also served in the UAE. Um, Here's one thing I'll say. It took me, I'm trying to think, 8 years of serving before I finally got deployed. I was in a unit where they refused to deploy me. And so then I just started working on my degree. I got accepted into a commissioning program, was sent for 2 years to Eastern Michigan University, where I then finished my degree, became an officer, had to go through all my officer training stuff, and got to a unit that then was willing to deploy me. And I had a great deployment. It was a year-long deployment with the MEF headquarters group. I served under then Colonel Lori Reynolds, who became Lieutenant General Reynolds, who is an amazing leader. She's a retired lieutenant general, highest rank a female has ever attained in the Marine Corps was General Reynolds, and well deserved. Very smart, taught me a lot. She had a lot of faith in me as an officer, and I have a lot of faith in her and a lot of respect for her. And so that's why there are people. You'll see some of these guys who are like down about female military members. Oh, there are some amazing female leaders in the military, uh, and it's not easy. The military is a macho organization. It's macho, and there's a lot of negativity. They call it toxic masculinity. I don't like that because it's not masculinity; it's fake masculinity. Uh, but with her and with several other Marines, I always respected the most those female Marines who could blend in and fit into the macho organization, but also retain so much of their femininity, however you say that. And she was one. There were a couple others because they just, in fact, one is if you're in the Veteran Nation Facebook group, Laura Magoo. She was one of those. There are some women who they get into the macho organization and they start getting to be acting like one of the guys and being butch. Next thing you know, they've got dip in their mouth and stuff. It's like, I don't like. It's tomboyish, but when little girl who's being a tomboy, it's very cute. When you're in your 20s and 30s, it's like you're gonna really do chewing tobacco. So like that's their thing. I'm just like, not for me. Like, but those who maintain their femininity, but were still could blend into the machismo of the organization and be like, oh no, we're gonna effing PT and I'm gonna kick your guy's ass. Oh, those were the ones I respected the most. I loved those are my favorite female Marines. And I really enjoyed when they did stuff like that.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
My husband is a Marine and served in the Korean War. Candace, would he be willing to come on and talk with us? Not today, but in the future. I would love to interview. My grandfather's in the Korean War. He was actually a general's driver. Would love to talk with him and hear his story. And not for me, not for you, but for him and for future generations to know what really were things like, and that's the key, because history judges. And trust me, we're seeing things today where people are doing things, where they try to change history. And we need to get the truth out there. And he's a part of that truth. Even if he didn't do anything, it's like, we need to get it, even if it's hard. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be live. We can record it, And whatever he's comfortable with putting out and says, look, I didn't like this part of the interview, I can cut it out. But it's important. His story is important. All the Korean, all the Vietnam War, all those guys, all the guys who, served in all the minor conflicts that we had, it's important. I was a tomboy, but I still knew I was a woman and acted like one. Yeah, it's true. Girls can be a lady or can be a tomboy, but you have to teach them how to be a lady too. And those are the ones that in fact, I was just talking with someone. We got the Marine Corps ball coming up in November, and he's a civilian. He's never been to one. And I was like, dude, you want to go with me? Let's go. And I think it's in Vegas. I'm not 100%, but I was like, yeah, let's go. And he was like, well, I've never been to that. And I was like, dude, you dress up. The actual ceremony lasts like about 45 minutes. There is the pomp and circumstance. You just go through it, and then it turns into a party. I go, then it's a reason to dress up and drink a lot and act a fool. I go, it's not a thing of what happens at the Marine Corps ball stays at the Marine Corps ball. Like, I've seen people do some, like, lose their minds, but we tend to look the other way, even as leaders, be like, well, yeah, this happened at the ball. Like, I've seen drunk Marines. I normally, like, the last couple ones I was in Vegas, saw some very drunk Marines who are not even in my unit, potentially like about to get themselves into trouble. And I was like, hey, here's the captain stepping in. I'm like, hey, don't argue with this guy. Let's go over here. I'll buy you guys a beer. Let's go have a drink over here. And enlisted guys don't get officers buying them drinks that often, so they don't get to drink with the officers much. And they're like, oh, okay, sir, let's go do it. So that's what we did. But it's fun like that. It is fun like that. It can get crazy. I did laugh at the ball in Austin last year, where a couple people started fights with the Marines, and you saw every good, bad, and ugly thing about the Marine Corps that night. Like, you saw where there were people stepping in, trying to deconflict the situation, where the civilian was still not going, but the moment he put his hand on one of the Marines, like, the rest were like, oh, it's on. You're not going to do that to our guy. And there was a beatdown. My son deployed 7 times. One deployment was 2 years long. He has been awarded a Bronze Star. He also received several other medals. Just can't remember the names of them. Well, thank you for his service. 7 times and 2 years is a long time. Like, if that's a combat deployment, that's a long time. If it's deployed to Germany, okay, not as bad. Not as bad. Japan, not as bad. I would have loved to attend something like that, but was in the Navy, was a lowly enlisted. They do the Navy does do military balls. The big one that they do is and it's like a little bit before the Marine Corps balls, they do the celebration of the corpsmen. So I've seen where they've done a couple things. Shit, I've been on for 2 hours. I'm going to have to get going. But everyone go to veterannationfoundation.com. Buy some of our merchandise. You can get a mug of ours. I think they're like $12 to $14. I can't remember offhand. So yeah, go order some of that stuff. We appreciate it. Some of the money comes back to us, helps us. Go look up Veteran Nation on Facebook, facebook.com/Veteran Nation Foundation. You'll find it that way. You can also find our Facebook group. If you find our Facebook group, just type in Veteran Nation. You can join that. And our Facebook account is in there. If you send me a Facebook request of me personally, it's going to be denied. I only add people that I know personally. So I apologize. And it's just because I've got kids and family members and pictures and information about them. It's not because I don't want to be your friend or anything like that. But you can always email me on Veteran Nation at Proton Mail. You can also DM me on X. And In fact, I saw we had a good amount of people. We have it's like 50-50 people on X and YouTube in here. But yeah, you can always DM me. You can call me on X. You can call me on Facebook, Facebook Messenger. So yeah, you can do that if you need me. I thank you all for being here, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.